Okay, well, we've had a break. Hopefully everyone got an opportunity to stretch your legs a little bit, maybe do a couple of star jumps. So we're so high up here, aren't we? Use a bit of air. Any questions that you thought of that have just come up from our quiz session? Anything in particular?
I have one question. Most likely a stupid question.
It's not a stupid question. Go ahead, though.
So, are we allowed to grant bail or decide on bail on rape and other serious offences?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because even if you're sending a case to the Crown Court, so like a Section 51 indictable case, because we're the first, the Magistrates Court is the first place that case appears. You won't take a plea or anything like that, but you've got to get it from the Magistrates Court to the Crown Court. So it's getting sent, but how does the defendant go? Do they go on conditional bail, unconditional bail, or do they go in custody? So the magistrates will make that decision in exactly the same way as they make a decision in relation to a case that's going to stay in the magistrate, using the same structure. The Bail Act is universal. It applies to the Magistrates Court. It applies to the Crown Court as well. So it's all the same. But it's a really good question, actually, because you might think, oh, those are quite serious offences. Perhaps we shouldn't. But it's only murder that you're not going to be able to make.
We can also decide on attempted murder. Yeah.
You can. Yes, we talked about that last time, didn't we? Yes, attempted murder. You can because it's an attempt. It's got to be, let's say, a proper murder, but it's got to be a murder. Attempted murder is still a case that the magistrates can make a decision on. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next session. So I thought what would be useful would be actually we've got a lot of knowledge now, and we've kind of been thinking about some of the theory behind applications and the structures, but actually running a remand court, you need to know the law, you need to know the procedure, but it's also you might be faced with anything, and it's some of that is kind of almost time management, it's organisation, it's making sure that actually you know what's coming. Like with the breach of bail, you might need to prioritise that case, and there might be things that you need to do to make sure that case is ready. So I'll put down some scenarios and perhaps some situations that you might come across, more tricky characters. What might you do in terms of them? So we've got 5 scenarios. I thought that maybe a good way that we could do them is if we split off into groups. So if we have 2 groups of 2 and a group of 3, and if your group do scenario 1, so there's quite a few parts to scenario 1. It kind of progresses through. And then, if it's okay, Zoe and Hope, would you like to look at scenario 2 and scenario 3? And then, could you like to look at 4 and look at 5? And then what we can do is come back together. If we say be back for now, so we're ready to perhaps feedback at about 22, 20 to 1, and then we can go through all of the scenarios together, and the group that's prepared you can almost kind of maybe role play it a little bit or just present it back as to what you might do in those scenarios, and we can have a discussion on that. Like I say, I'll share my notes with you as well. I'm going to stop our recording just while we do that, so we'll be back shortly.